Good morning. Whoa, what was that? Got a lot of energy today. You can bring me down just a little bit on the... Whew. Well, our Respond with Love bumper stickers are out. I don't know if you've seen them on a couple cars driving around, but it's really interesting to see. Oh, there's one. Oh, look, there goes a responder, a first responder with love. Well, happy fall, y'all. Happy fall, y'all. Let's bring up the lights just a little bit more. If you could bring up the house lights so I can actually see everybody. There we go. Okay. We're full energy here. We did get hit by lightning, but we're putting the pieces back together, one circuit board at a time. We keep coming in and finding other things that are like zapped, and we're like, oh, we get to replace that too. Telephones, internet, copiers, heaters, whatever. Just time to renew everything. Well, it is the autumn equinox, and you're going to get 2 talks today for the price of 1. For those of you that it's your first time, I don't usually do 2 talks, but I have a 2-hour talk planned. So I hope y'all brought your pads, not the ones to write on, but the ones to sleep on. No, I'm kidding. So this is from exploredeeply.com. We are the only true experts in our own journey to enlightenment. Filter all information through your own heart. This is how we do it. You are your best practitioner. Although sometimes we do need to call out for assistance, you want to call somebody who is not invested in your entanglement so that they can know the highest and best with and for you. Sometimes when we're walking through things, we get so emotionally attached to a certain outcome or situation that it's difficult to see clearly, the forest through the trees. Sometimes it's good to call somebody who's not being affected by our energy to just go, hey, can you just know the truth about me for this? Because I'm too close to this. So sometimes it is good, but sometimes we don't always call a practitioner. We have to know for ourselves that we have that attachment. We have that direct. You don't need someone to do it for you. Sometimes we choose to, but you are your best practitioner, truly. As the midday sun begins to sink low over the sky, and in the night becomes chillier and darker earlier, before we even notice the changing of the colors of the leaves with our eyes, our senses tell us that the reign of summer is coming to an end in the northern half of the world. Did you feel it? Did you feel like, it's just like something's changing, And if you look at life, the circle of life, as the seasons of life, as your life, and compare where you are. Are you perpetually in the spring of your life? No matter what it looks like outside, it's just a way to check in with where you're at. So the autumn equinox arrives on Monday, the 23rd. Some say it's between the 21st and the 24th. Somewhere in there something changes. So, and only you can decide what it is for you. You can have your own time. But it officially begins in the northern hemisphere, and the word equinox comes from the Latin meaning equal night. Equinox, equal night. Equal day and equal night. So there has been a change, a pattern has changed. It went from being longer days to equaling out, and now it's going to go to longer nights. And somehow this triggers something in our plant life that tells it, to slow down. And we need to look at that pattern that is being sent in the universe for us to slow down a little bit, Spiritually speaking, fall represents the harvest time of year, a time to acknowledge abundance as our natural state of being. this summer was abundant with life. We got out and we camped and we rode the river and we hiked and we vacationed and maybe we slept. Our lives go through cycles of growth, harvest, death, and rebirth, just as nature does. On the fall equinox, you may want to honor abundance and the shift in the seasons by taking a moment and lighting a candle to show your abundance. Taking just a second to honor what you believe this change of season represents to you. Don't just let the season go by and it's just another season and another year and another time. Do something. Do something special for yourself. Give thanks for what your summer did for you. And if you haven't done it, go ahead and go do something and then give thanks. Fall is a time of year that we set up in our internal space and make room for what's to come in the next year. We create fertile soil for our greater visions to grow and to grow into. By becoming quiet and listening to what is trying to emerge from within us, we set the spiritual tone for the winter that's coming. We're just finishing painting our house, and with every brush stroke, I think, it's nice outside. It was nice yesterday. I'm painting a little bit, and I'm thinking, with every brush stroke, I'm going to feel better when I sit inside my house knowing that it's painted. That feeling of just, okay, I can sit in my little cave and everything has been taken care of, I don't like that feeling of hearing the rain and wondering if the roof's okay. Did I have enough tar on that little spot, So it's that time that we get to reflect and go, you know what, we've created these spaces for ourselves and we're safe and we're spiritually fed. If you're here, you're hungry. You're hungry for spiritual knowledge. You want to know something, don't we? Something in us got us up this morning to get here because we want to know something more. So I hope you find it here. And apparently some of you are, because you keep coming back. We offer a smorgasbord here of spirituality. And if you're hungry, you're on your own, especially over there. So when we take this time of year to empty out our space and create fertile soil, when we clear our internal ground in the fall, we go into dormancy and rest in the cold and darkness of winter. Winter is a time of year for healing, when the cold and fertilizing becomes the healing that sets the soil for spring in our rebirth. That's how we rebirth into a new spring every year. We go through these patterns, these cycles, of doing everything in the summer and then tapering off and watching the rain. And then spring comes and we make all these plans for summer. And then you see how we're breathing in and out in our lives? When we get into that pattern of life begins to breathe us in a beautiful, natural way. It's when we resist it that we get into challenge, Oh, winter's coming. No, not winter. Yes, winter. A little bit of rain helps us. So I honor the light in you that is the love of all things. Without your existence, the light of the universe would dim and all of existence would miss out on you. Okay, so happy fall. Now we're into school. Yeah. So I only have 2 more talks left on school. Next week is WTF. Where's the faith? Come on, people. What are you guys thinking? Okay, but back to higher education. So our theme for this month is back to school, back to cool school, because this is cool school, isn't it? I mean, this is so cool to know that there is a way that the universe works, and when we know the way the universe works and we can work within the pattern that is already preset for us, we're not surprised. We get to live life like we're on vacation. Are you living life like you're on vacation? Yeah. How's the catering doing on your vacation? How's the entertainment doing on your vacation? How's the sleeping doing on your vacation, right? So adult education starts with our parents. You know, our parents or our parental units or whoever played that part in our lives, you know, they did the best for us that they knew how. And their only job was to get us onto this planet safely. That's it. We think, well, no, they're supposed to, I'm supposed to inherit everything, and I'm supposed to, no, that's all a byproduct. That's all the extras, fluff stuff. They got you onto this planet. Anything else is a gift, okay? So, maybe they trained us for a few brief years and helped us to understand right from wrong, good from bad, how to treat ourselves when we have a cut, Neosporin hydrogen peroxide and a kiss. Yeah, it's the kissing the boo-boo that makes it all better. And maybe they taught us how to treat our hearts when we hurt ourselves. We think somebody out there hurt us, but we hurt ourselves. I mean, let's look at it metaphysically. We get hurt because we're hurtable. We set ourselves up in a consciousness that has expectancy, and it happens. It's part of the life experience. But we must look at it holistically. And if we look at some of our biggest challenges in life, they have been our biggest learning tools. We have transcended the challenge in a way that has added to our character, hopefully, that allowed us to be bigger and better people in this thing called life. So, if you are a seeker, is there any seekers out there? No? I see some finders out there too. Because we need to not only seek, we need to find. I mean, if we kept seeking and just seeking, then it gets tiresome, doesn't it? After a while? You get kind of like tired of looking, right? We need to find something once in a while to keep us in that energy. So, I have some questions here for you. What is the true nature of God? Me. Yeah, you. Love. Respond with love. What is the nature of humankind, truly? What is the relationship, between God and humankind? And the big one, what is the meaning of life? Why are you here? Why are you here? What are you doing? I hear my mother. What are you doing? Who do you think you are? Well, I'm God like everybody else, Mom. No! Okay, yes, you are that, yes. So, I worked at a company where I was doing telephone, people would call in with their challenges, and I was supposed to fix them, And I was having this interesting customer service discussion with a client, and they were not happy, and I was not happy, and I was trying to be very nice. When somebody can't give you what they want, and they act all, it's all okay. It's like, no, you're not getting what I want. And she asked me this, and I ask you, what is your function? I looked at the phone, like, wow, So, that's a really good question. My function is to assist you with whatever your question is. But what is our function in this thing called life? What are we here to do to function? We are here to learn and to grow and to share what we've learned and to grow and to learn and to grow and to enjoy it. Do the events and experiences in your life happen for a reason? Or they just happens? Absolutely, there are reasons. There are reasons for everything. That's what I love about this teaching. There's no, well, it just happened. There's no coincidence. There is on purpose. Do you feel like you're living life on your purpose? Okay, let's back up. Do you have a purpose? What is your function? When we live on purpose, you know that feeling of living a life that is fulfilling because you know you're in the right place doing the right thing all the time? What if I were to tell you that what you're doing right now is exactly what the infinite wants you to be doing? You are exactly where you were supposed to be, doing exactly what you need to be doing. And if you ask the infinite, it would say, you are doing it fantastically. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel good to know that you are on purpose already? Although it may not at times feel like we know that we know that we know. If you were supposed to be doing it differently, you would be. Well, if I were you, I'd be doing it exactly the way you're doing it because I'd be you doing it. Don't let somebody tell you. Do you see where I'm coming from? We need to look at where we are as perfect. Now, perfectly imperfection, imperfectly. We are doing the best we can in every moment. And it may not feel like it sometimes, and that's okay, because that's the pull. That's the pull. You know when you feel like something's bad or something you should have done, and that pull? You know, you've been asked to go further with your spiritual development, and something within you is resisting, and you feel that pull. Just go within and bless that feeling and ask it for its message. Answer the message with love and move on. That's how we start to feel better in our spiritual life. Why? Because we want to live a life of meaning, to have a better quality of life, more peace of mind, tools to meet the daily challenges of life, tools to meet the daily opportunities of life, ways to solve your financial challenges, ways to handle relationship situations and life issues, how to be healed on multiple levels. On multiple levels. You know, we have multiple levels. We have the physical, right? Your body needs to feel good. Your inner light body needs to feel in harmonious, like you're doing it for a purpose. We need to address all the different levels and layers that we may not even know that we have. This is why we turn into love. When you turn towards what you believe love is to you, you can't go wrong. In the midst of your challenge, if you can just remember that you are loved at depth. There's this little book in the bookstore, I don't know if we still have them. It's called The Golden Key. Is it Emmett Fox? Emmett Fox's Golden Key. It's this little tiny book, and he would make it one page if he could. And here's the whole thing. Turn away from whatever you're walking through and think of only what you believe the power of creation is to you, whatever God is to you, or the creative wisdom that created you, if you can concentrate on what you believe God is, the challenge, no matter what it is, will dissipate back into the nothingness from which it came. You can't think of two things at the same time. Now, some of you ladies who are great multitaskers believe that. No, wait a second. I can too. I'm doing laundry, the dishes, and working at the insurance company or whatever we're all doing. And guys, the same thing. Guys are the same way. You can't think of lack and demonstrate abundance. We need to harmonize with who and what we truly are. And when we move it into love, we can't go wrong. So, are you guys any advanced students out there? You know who you are. You're sitting in the blue chairs. A higher spiritual education is the answer for you. And I have some words of wisdom to you. Something is happening in the world right now. I don't know if you've felt it, but we are being called to prayer in a huge way. I mean, people that didn't even know they were alive before are praying because the world is calling for us to really question, why are we here and what are we doing? This isn't to blame one political party or another. This whole thing is because God doesn't have political parties, right? God is genderless. God is just everything. But when we can look at love in a different way, we start to attract the answer. Turn into what your idea of God is. Not just turn to it, but turn into it. You turn into God metaphysically when you think about love. And when we're thinking about love, whatever your challenge is, dissipates. Now, this doesn't mean that we deny, it's not there. It's there, and let's admit it. Let's not do what's called a spiritual bypass and just pretending that it's not there. But let's not give it any more power. What do you want to demonstrate? What is your challenge calling you to be, do, or have that's greater than you may have thought of previously? What is your idea of God? Or as my mom would say, who do you think you are? Who do you believe yourself to be, and what is your dream? To educate means to remember. To remember that you are a member of a spiritual energy. You always have been. You always will be. You can run, but you cannot hide. You are exactly the person you were designed to be. Doing exactly what the infinite would have you doing for your ultimate and the highest best for everything. So do it with love. Get into it. Wake up. Wake up! I saw a couple of you dozing off. I'm only kidding. I love it when people doze off during my service because it means I'm speaking directly to their subconscious mind, reprogramming it. It means, that's right, love is what it's all about. So I want to give you guys a little education on treatment. Prayer. There's no right or wrong way to pray. Prayer in any sense is prayer. But we in this teaching have a scientific form of treatment. It's 5 steps. And we believe that using these 5 steps in treatment will bring a demonstration. Now, what's a demonstration? Well, if you were in mathematics and 2 plus 2 equals 4 is a demonstration of mathematics. Do you get me? So when we pray, asking for something to happen in our lives, be, do, and have. Maybe it's health, maybe it's finances, relationships, business, creative expression, whatever it is. Can you go there already in mind? So, treatment. Number 1. Step 1, recognition. Recognize that God is. What do you believe God is to you? It's your business. You get to name it. You get to decide what it is for you. But there is this thing that's animating everything. I think we can all agree on that. Something is happening. It's causing us to be alert, awake, and aware. Focus your energy on recognizing that there is a power. Step 2. Unification. Unifying that you are part of that power that created everything that is. There's not God and you. There's God as everything. There's not a spot where God is not. And I'm definitely a spot. So, you are part of the wholeness of the infinite awareness. Step 3. Realization. Realize that whatever that you are treating for is already done. How does it look healed? How does it look now that you are over it? How does it look now that you are abundantly provided for? That your relationships are working wonderfully? How does it feel? And there, my friends, for you advanced students, is the key. When you can feel the power, when you feel abundant, when you feel prosperous, when you feel healthy, the universe says yes. The universe is always saying yes and sends in the energy when you agree that you are it. Again, a good practitioner treats from the consciousness of being, not to it. We already are it. You know, you don't need anything added unto you. You don't need to be downloaded the new 2.0 version of you. It's already within you. We have to let it out. And sometimes we have to do some healing and forgiveness work to let out what is within us. We have to remember who we are. And sometimes that takes education and reading books and coming to seminars and workshops and Sunday mornings. But something is wanting to get out of you. Something is wanting to heal you. Let it happen. Man, we resist our own healing. I mean, we argue for our limitations, don't we? Are you kidding? You don't know my story. You don't know me. Oh, the trouble I've seen. Right? Knows the trouble I've seen. You know what? I got a tattoo, t-shirt, and a double print, so I've seen it all. Yours is yours. Find a way to heal it. Find a way. Maybe you need to go and have a little cry. That's okay. That's healing. That releases the energy of it. But let it go, man. Let it go. Realize your truth. So that's the third step, realization. Fourth step, thank you. Give great thanks that it's already done. Can you be thankful that you are already demonstrating that which you are treating for? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And if not, you get to wash, rinse, and repeat the first 4 steps, right? You get to get back. And they say the first 2 steps of treatment are the most powerful. Because if you don't know that there's a power and you don't know that you're part of it, we need to remember who we are. And, you know, that power creates worlds. And you're part of it. And you're creating your own world right here. You got to choose your favorite color. Who bought the car you drive? Well, maybe somebody gifted it to you. But somebody thought that stuff up. And the last is release. If you don't release it, what happens? You get stuck on the first 4 steps. You need to let go and know that it is already so. Let go and let God be God in you. Let the mysticism of the universe work by walking on. Don't get stuck in your own stuff. And it's easy to get entangled. You know, there's a lot of different things going on because our mind is so creative that it can think of ways that it can't happen. And you're demonstrating perfectly by not demonstrating. Because you believe it doesn't work. Once you change and you believe it works, everything else falls away. And boom, a demonstration happens. You know, some of my most powerful demonstrations is when I was trucking through life and I went, oh, that'd be neat. Boom, it happened. Why? Because I didn't say, oh, I can't have that. That's not for me. That's for other people. When you go, that'd be really neat, the universe gets very busy making it happen for you. So don't put a lot of extra thought in why it can't happen, or that will be your demonstration. So in conclusion, this is from Dr. Ernest Holmes. It is not the spirit of man that needs to be made whole. It is his mental reactions to life that need healing. These mental reactions are both conscious and subjective. Successful spiritual mind treatment neutralizes negative reactions on both the conscious and the subjective levels. Healing, then, is accomplished by uncovering, neutralizing, and erasing false images of thought and letting the perfect idea reflect itself through the subjective mind into the body. Can you do that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can I have an amen? I just always wanted to do that. So happy fall. It's not a time to fall down. It's a time to fall in love with yourself. Get a good cup of soup and sit by a fire with a good book, Science of Mind. And remember who you are, my friends, because this is truly what life is all about. And so it is. So it's time for us to follow our teaching and go within. So if you'd like to close your eyes, if that's comfortable for you, take a soft focus on the candles, the beautiful flowers, or just remember who you are in the silence of your own love. So I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness what you believe the power that created everything that is to you. Whatever name you want to give it, Christ consciousness, source energy, goddess, whatever it is for you, Great Spirit. I know that each one of us is a divine expression of that love. That the infinite so loved itself that it allowed us this freedom to be who and what we are in this moment. We are so grateful for this time, this space, and this place. I may not know what your prayer is, but I know God knows. And I know that as we look upon it with love, as healed now, as revealed now in the wholeness of love itself, that something is moving in this fall time. Something is shifting as the seasons change that bring us back to our wholeness, bring us back to our divine self. Not that we've ever been away from it, but reveals it in such a way that a beautiful sensation washes over us like an elixir of love. that truth happens in our life, that we finally forgive and release whatever may have been blocking our inner flow, so that we may emerge resplendent, fully orbed and whole, for something wonderful is happening right here and right now. So I give great thanks for this blessing, this truth, this healing, this revealing of truth, knowing that whatever came before this moment was all part of the treatment of being whole. And now we claim the wholeness. We give great thanks for the energy that has allowed us to love in such a new and beautiful way, that truly life itself glimmers with love. So I let go and I let God be God in me, as each one of us, as we let go completely by releasing this word and saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay.